Silence is golden.
That's right.
I often hear from young people that they want to create the future that they want to be a part of. You all are smarter. You have more access to information than we did when we were young people. But the problem is that we haven't created schools that allow you to create that future for yourself. Imagine you're driving up with your parents to come to school for the first day. And as you drive up, you get out of your car, all of a sudden you hear music pumping. Finally, you get to go into the school building, and the first thing you see is a DJ booth. And next to it is a video board that has pictures of your teachers and people that you're going to see. So when you come to One City Schools, we're going to have the latest technology, the latest methods in teaching. We're going to have a great set of peers for you to participate with and learn with and grow with. We have exceptional teachers, but also we're going to provide a tremendous amount of experiences to you and allow you to engage in things that's going to help you move from where you are now to where you see yourself in the future. And so what we've done is created a school for you that would really help tap into your interest, your passion, but help you prepare for the future that you see for yourself. And if you don't understand how to get there, we're going to clear that path for you. We're getting you ready for college. We're getting you ready for careers. When you start in 9th grade, you're going to be enrolled in college when you start with us. Whether it's Madison College, University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh, UW-Madison, or our partners that we're working with, you can leave school debt-free. To have a driver's license that we're going to help you get, and you're going to leave with some resources because we're going to have a bank account set up for you, we're going to have a Bitcoin account set up for you, and we're also going to have a stock account set up for you, so that whether you come to our school with money or not, you're going to leave with not just that resources, an unbelievable education to start a career right now. Well, that's what One City Schools is. It is a place where you can learn and grow with your friends. You can engage in sports and all those things too. But you get an opportunity to get an education where you are developing the future every single day.
All right now, family, welcome everyone here. You just got to see a piece. You just got to see a piece what's going to happen this evening. My name is Marilyn Ruffin. I am VP of Family and Community Engagement here at One City Schools. Been here almost 5 years. So just seeing the school just grow from our infancy, literally and figuratively speaking. And now that we're getting ready to add new grades, not only are we completing our elementary K through 5, but now our secondary gets to start this fall for 6th grade, 9th, and 10th grade. So you are definitely in the right spot here, this seat. So sit back, this is being recorded. Just pay attention, look through, and then we will also share everything that we need to share from here. So welcome, this is our staff. This is for real. This is not a stock photo. This is us. We took this back in August or so, and you just look at the diversity of our those that work with us here at One City. So this is exciting times. So the agenda today, I'm welcoming you right now. We're going to learn what is a charter. You know, folks just asking what makes us different. You get to hear a little bit more why a charter. You get to hear more about our details of One City Preparatory Academy, OCPA. You get to hear about our facilities and see the possibilities of what this is going to bring to us. You'll meet our team, our partners, and then in the end, you'll hear more about enrollment, like how do you get here? So I'll just pass it on to my other leadership team members.
Sorry, I guess I'll go first.
Yes.
I am Devin Davis. I am the head of schools and secondary school principal here at One City Schools, and I am honored to be part of this team that is building the secondary school. I started at One City in the fall of 2020 and have since been really developing the program, the curriculum, the partnerships, right now in the midst of hiring an awesome team to get us started with grades 6, 9, and 10 this September. And my background is primarily in the independent school educational sphere. When I graduated from Wake Forest University with my master's in education, I worked in both a public kindergarten through 8th grade school and an independent junior kindergarten through 9th grade school before my family moved to Madison, where I found a home for the next decade at Madison Country Day School. And while I was at Madison Country Day, it grew from 250 students to 450 students. I spent 9 of those years as the middle school head, the middle school principal, and 1 as the interim head of schools before moving on to this venture. So I'm just really excited to bring the innovation that is out there in education to a public school sphere in the charter school world that is One City. And I'm happy to tell you more about it and partner with all of you on our innovative and educational journey here. So I will pass the spotlight over to Natalia, the Director of Teaching and Learning.
There. Thank you, Devin. Good evening. Welcome to everyone. I feel honored and thrilled to be part of the One City team, which I joined in August, and to also be serving as the founding director of the Teaching and Learning at OCPA. My professional experience covers teaching at the college level for 15 years in private and also in public institutions, including Penn State, Bucknell, Tulane, and UW-Madison. I also have 10 years of instructional experience at the K through 12 level here in the city in Madison, where I moved in 2008 with my family. And I have taught here for MMSD for the Madison Metropolitan School District, as well as for Madison Country Day School, where I was for 9 years. And I really feel that my professional experience in secondary and also in higher education comes to play very well in this position, where we together in the team get to prepare programs that bridge both worlds, both educational worlds, always having the scholars at the driver's seat. So, and with that, I'm going to pass the voice to the founder, Kaleem.
And I'm Kaleem Kier, and I'm going to share a little bit more about you, about One City Preparatory Academy with you, and just a little bit more history about our organization. But in introducing myself, I started One City Schools in 2014 as an organization, and in 2015, we started our preschool. In 2018, we started the elementary part of our public charter school. And then now this fall, we get to start One City Prep, which is going to eventually be 6th through 12th grade. I'm a native Madisonian. My family's been in Madison since 1907 on my grandfather's side of the family, in 1931 on my grandmother's side. My grandfather came from New Orleans, where I'm actually at right now. And my grandmother came from Arkansas, but raised 4 daughters. I was one of the children of those 4 daughters. And my mother wasn't able to really raise me because of some challenges she had, and my father wasn't present. So I have the same MO as a lot of young people that I've helped over the years. But, you know, I wear One City proudly on my chest because it really did take a whole village of people to raise me. And so that's what we're trying to do with One City Schools, is get communities, not just here in Madison, but everywhere, to realize that they can create amazing opportunities for young people and produce amazing change through them in the future if we all come together and do what we need to do with them and for them together. So I'm looking forward to sharing more shortly. Miss Marilyn Ruffin, you are next up.
Okay, next screen. Oh, go right ahead, Devin. You can take this here.
Okay, yeah, Marilyn, you will introduce yourself at the beginning. So we have a bunch of our new team members here tonight who can introduce themselves, and probably for the sake of clarity, we'll just sort of go in the left to right order on this screen. And if we are missing a couple team members also, who everybody does have other jobs right now. So we appreciate everybody who's here tonight, and we're really excited about our new team members. We are in the midst of hiring even more. And so, it's just really an exciting time here at One City. So Zachary, I know you're here. Start with you.
All right, hi. It's nice to be able to speak to everybody here. Look forward to having like more one-on-one and smaller group conversations. But just talking into the Zoom void here. I'm Zachary Saya. I am a arts educator, and I'm joining One City as the art department chair. And I'm also going to be teaching high school. I'm really excited to bring in all kinds of ways of creating to our scholars, and I'll be helping out with some curriculum in the middle school as well. And I think I just want to make it like really short and nice. Anything art related, I'll be your point person. So thank you.
Thanks, Zachary. Yes, I don't know how many of you in the audience have been part of a Zoom webinar, but it is kind of an unnerving experience on the presenter end because you can't actually see any of the audience members. So you're just kind of talking into a digital void, like Zachary said. So Jeremy, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremy Clements, and I am thrilled to be here tonight to help work with One City Schools as we continue to build our community. I will be serving as our athletic director, serving all of our students, grades K through 12 when we eventually get there. My current job, I've had the chance to be able to serve a pre-K through 12 school where I've built a varsity athletic department from 0 sports to 14, and we continue to grow and provide opportunities for student athletes. And I'm absolutely excited to work with this team to provide meaningful opportunities for our students, our student athletes, our scholars, and to help work in ventures of building facilities and programs that they can have a meaningful difference within their lives. So we view athletics as an extension of the classroom where we can continue to teach life skills and give them meaningful leadership opportunities as well. And I look forward to helping One City Schools in our community go on that journey together.
Good evening. I'm Jen Bauer. I am so happy to be able to extend my life's purpose into this work with One City. I've been a school administrator, middle school principal for the last 23 years, and am returning to the classroom as the 6th grade humanities teacher, which is was my original major in college. So really looking forward to what really we need to provide for public education and all the innovation. And my discussions with Kaleem and different things, we're headed in the right direction, and this is absolutely what schools need at this point. So excited. I've worked with a lot of the team already, and it is a great bunch of people, and I'm very excited to be here.
Thanks, Jen. Andrew, I don't believe Teresa's here this evening, so you're up.
All right. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. I'm Andrew Holdman. I'll be chairing up the humanities department. So humanities is kind of just our umbrella for all things social studies and English language arts. I'm nearing the end of my 16th year as a teacher, both at the middle grade levels and high school level, and have taught a lot of social studies subjects, a lot of English as well. And I'm just really grateful to be part of this team. I'm really excited with the work we've done and the work we'll continue to do, and just really dedicated. I'm really excited to be part of a team of dedicated educators who want to make a school that's really going to work for the students. And I'm excited to make that happen with everybody. So I'm excited to meet the students, the families, and the community, and yeah, getting ready to go. So thanks.
Thanks, Andrew. Rick, you're up.
Good evening. Yeah, this is kind of stressful, but my name is Rick Kendrick. I'm actually coming out of retirement to come back and teach again. Once I heard about One City, got me real excited about the overall, the curriculum, just the whole process of what One City is about. I'm really ready to dive myself in. I used to teach at Madison College. That's where I first started teaching mathematics, and also taught with MMSD at Capitol High School. And I just retired because I was just disillusioned by the school system and the way they were teaching our kids. And so if someone asked me my why, that's why. I'm a product of the MMSD, and this has taken me a long time to get to where I am now, and it shouldn't take that long. I wish I had some dreams early on, or had those role models out there that could, excite me about learning and wanting to be a professional out there. I just didn't have that. Being the last of 7 kids, hey, I had to fight for everything I could get. But I'm really excited to be here. I wanted to, I commented on my picture earlier. Um, I think that's the best picture I've ever taken ever in my entire life. I don't know what it is about cameras and myself, but other than that, what I bring to the table is my experience. Been around here, I've been around a long time. Believe it or not, I'll be turning 59 in a few months here. So really excited. And I think that's about everything. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Rick. Jack, you're next.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jack Moore. I have been teaching for 5 years. And first year, actually, I started teaching. I started at a charter school, and I was really excited. They didn't quite have the resources that One City Schools has. And, you know, you could kind of tell. But I've been in a public school west side of Rockford for the past 4 years. And, you know, being in the public school system for a little while, you start to see, you know, there's not as much passion in a public school, and there's not quite the vision that, you know, you see here with One City Schools. And I think that that's something that everybody kind of saw when through the interview process, and what really inspired people to be part of this. And you know, that's kind of what I'm all about, is contributing to whatever vision that we have for our team. And you know, I want to play a role in that. And my role is specifically going to be technology. I've been teaching social studies, but you know, building a robotics program and some computer science, some things that are really going to be helpful for our kids in the future. So I'm pretty excited to be here, and nice to virtually meet everybody.
Am I the caboose? Me? Yeah. Okay. My name is Maggie Clark, and I am inspired and focused and pumped to be here and to be a part of One City Schools and this team. As I learned about it through the interview process and through some reading that I did, to me, it feels like this is the dream school and the dream team. And I'm just really excited to contribute, do my part to make the world better. And I am a technology educator, and so I will be focusing on the high school mostly, and integrating the learning experience with technology that really empowers students would be my mission. And to just create something that the students create on their own, right? To help them create themselves, which is something that was addressed in the video, which is really aligned to what I'm excited about. So yeah, so I'm just really excited, and I can't wait to help transform education this year. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't also say thank you to a lot of our parent community who actively engage in the hiring process. Also, we have multiple rounds of hiring, one of which is questions with a parent panel, and we really value that as part of our experience. So thank you all. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Kaleem, I believe you are next. Nope, Fern, you're up.
All right. Hello, good evening. My name is Fern. I am the VP of Government Relations here at One City School. And first off, I just want to say thank you for joining us. We know that everybody's time is so precious, and that you chose to spend it with us is wonderful. So my job tonight is to tell you a little bit about the basics of just what is a charter school? What is this thing that you are here to learn about? So let's start with that question. What is a charter school? A charter school is a public school, and I say that over and over and over. It is a public school. It is created by a contract between an authorizer and an operator. So who authorized One City Preparatory Academy? It is the UW System Office of Educational Opportunity. So One City Schools and the Office of Educational Opportunity entered into a contract that defines the requirements that OCPA has to meet. And what do we get from doing that? We get some flexibility from some state laws that apply to traditional public schools, but we also owe a greater level of accountability because we have an additional entity that's watching us. So while we get some flexibility, we also have a high level of accountability. So again, public school, it's just created in a different way. When you think about your traditional public schools, they're more created or defined by their location or their geography. We're defined by our contract. All right, so that's number one. Number two, is OCPA part of a school district, maybe one where you live, something like Madison Metropolitan School District? The answer to that question is no. We are independent of any school district. Because we were created by the Office of Educational Opportunity, we're completely independent. So we have our own governance board and we have our own administration. What does this offer us? It means that we get to make decisions that we believe are in the best interests of our families and our scholars. Okay, next up, who can attend One City Preparatory Academy? Again, we are a free public school. So we are open to any child who lives in Wisconsin. There are no additional admission requirements. Sometimes you might have hear things like, are there any testing requirements? Do I have to meet any additional requirements? Absolutely not. Free public school, open to any child who lives in Wisconsin who can get to West Broadway in Monona. And again, we just reiterate over and over that it is a free public school. And so you say, okay, we have this great opportunity. How is this being paid for if it's free to all the students? Well, OCPA receives a per pupil amount from the state, directly from the state. Now, unfortunately, that amount does not cover all of the opportunities that we're able to offer our families and our scholars. So OCPA and the administrative team does do an extensive amount of fundraising to fill that gap. So overall, our funding is state funding, a little sprinkling of federal funding, and private fundraising. Those are my 4 prepared frequently asked questions about charter schools. Hopefully that gives you a little insight to just the concept of what is a charter school. And then I'm going to pass it on to hopefully whoever takes over next.
Thanks, Fern. Kaleem
Sure.
is next.
All right, let's get into it. So again, we started One City Schools in 2014 as an organization, first and foremost, to try to address what we felt was a childcare desert in South Madison. However, when we brought our board together in October of that year, we had already decided that we were going to try to build a network of schools that would create a pathway for kids from early childhood all the way through 12th grade to prepare them for both college and careers. And so we started out with a 21-member board. We then worked to raise funds to support our school. Ironically, when we did the kickoff at CUNA Mutual Foundation, or CUNA Mutual's organization, their foundation hosted it in Madison, we had it on the same night that there was a shooting of a young man named Tony Robinson, whose grandmother actually used to work for me in Madison years ago. And so our launch was a little rocky because we had this amazing press and then it just got drowned out by that tragedy. And so we were able to double back though and look at how do we come back out to move this school program forward. So we recruited some amazing board members. So we have some amazing people on our board of directors, starting with one of my great leaders and supporters, Dr. Gloria Ladson-Billings. She is the world's progenitor of culturally relevant teaching, or culturally responsive teaching. Some people refer to it that way. We have Mr. Gordon Durzon, who started the UW-Madison Hospital, that before years ago, it was on University Avenue, closer to the business school, if you know Madison, but he built the big hospital out there, which has only grown ever since. Joe Krupp, who founded Krupp General Contractors and one of the founders of Food Fight Restaurant Group. We have Scott Klug, who is a former congressman. And then we have just some other amazing people on our board. And so we all got together, the first iteration of our board, decided we were going to launch a preschool in 2015. And then as we started to build a relationship with our families, they said, we don't want to leave. We want to continue to go forward, which was great for us because that's what we wanted to do too. So when the university system got the ability to charter schools from the state legislature in 2017, we were one of the first 2 schools in 2018 to open. And so if you could move the slide forward, I'm going to talk about why first. So One City was created to address the issue of both the achievement gap and the opportunity gap that produces that achievement gap. Meaning there are young people in our school community who, by sheer nature, either their families not having the opportunity or them not having access to it, usually because of economic means or past family experience with higher education, positive experience with K-12 education. We see a persistent disparity between how they do and how other students do. And unfortunately, more African-American Latino students fall at poverty than white students do in our community. So when you look at these results, I tell people that 12% reading rate in Madison at grade level and then, statewide hasn't really changed in about 30, almost 40 years. And then the one for Latino community you've seen has changed. And that's also determined by where a lot of our Latino family members actually moved to Madison from. A lot of them are all from Mexico or other places where you might see a higher percentage of young people in poverty. We get kids from our university, they come from everywhere. And you see white students, but when you look at those numbers, you guys, I tell people that we're trying to close an achievement gap. We shouldn't be excited by only 61% of white students reading at grade level in our community. That is nothing to be proud of. So we're less interested in just closing gaps as we are as in making sure that education fits the needs for all of our children. So if you can move to the next slide. This history, goes way back. And so some people, when they hear me say that, but Colleen, we got to focus on the gap. We do. However, this is a public school, and we have to figure out ways to reinvent public education in America that's going to help move our children in this country, in this world forward in the future. And we are at risk right now. And it's not just because of COVID-19. So when you look at this on the right, 1976, some people are like, I didn't know we had an achievement gap. Our community has literally known we've had a gap since 1965, when the first study was done as a part of developing the Madison Urban League back in those days. This was just the third report that was done. And we knew we had a graduation gap. But when you look at that, it said that 44% of the small number of Black students didn't graduate. Well, that number increased to almost 60% in the early 2000s. So we weren't going forward, we were going backwards. And when you look on the left here, this was Miss Betty Franklin-Hammonds was a pioneer of the Urban League in Madison. And she spelled out for everyone in this editorial that was in the Capital Times in 1988, the year that I was in school in Madison, and said, if we don't do something now, we are going to reap the negative benefits of addressing this issue in the future. And that is what we have seen. So go forward. So my job over these years, I've been involved in education now for 27 years. I actually wrote my first plan for a school when I was 17 years old in 1988, actually, because I was watching a story on Black entertainment television about the history of Black independent schools in the South post-slavery. And I was just taken by that because my whole high school career, I had never had a Black teacher from preschool all the way through 12th grade. And for all of my years at West High School, I only had classes with 3 Black students because I was in upper level classes, but I managed to get a 1.56 GPA because I hated going to school and being the only Black kid in my classes. And so we said, all of that, we know we have to see the new model of public education that ensures that all of our kids are on track to succeed in the future. Because right now, all of our children need us to come to their aid. However, we have, and we tell people in One City, we've rooted it in an Afrocentric education model, meaning we focus less on independence and materialism, and it's all about you. And instead, it's all about us. It's about our community. It's about our interdependence. It's about moving and growing together. Go forward. So what we're trying to do is produce these amazing young people out of One City schools that we think every school should have like a purpose-driven mission for moving kids forward in the future, because these are the things that our children actually have to do now and are definitely going to have to be able to do in the future, because every generation leaves young people with new problems to solve, and we are leaving them with a host of problems. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on their learning. And hold on, my board chair just called me in the middle of this, that we're focused on them developing strong learning skills, that they're great leaders, but also great thinkers and problem solvers. They have to be able to do that. And they have to be able to do because they have to be able to tackle these big issues we're leaving them. We talk about global warming. We've now got a war brewing in Europe. We've got housing insecurity, food insecurity. All these things aren't going away. So we have to prepare our young people for addressing those things, and then being transformational leaders. They have to become innovators. They have to be able to move beyond where we are now and move all of us. And so it's one thing to have great skills, but you also have to be equipped with great leadership skills as well. And then college and career ready. People say, well, not every kid needs to go to college, but every kid should be college ready and career ready. And you need an education that actually helps you get to both of those directions. So some kids will go on and want to go to graduate school and PhDs. Other young people want to go work for the fire department. They want to do something else. They want to get in the workforce quicker. At One City, they're going to be able to get into that. And then just with all of that, prepare for success in life. Move forward. So we have this approach. Again, ours is a pathway. We tell people we're trading the cradle to prison pipeline for the cradle to college and career pipeline. And rather than just talk about it, we're trying to be about it by creating this chain network of schools that our children are able to move forward through, from preschool when they join us all the way through high school graduation. So earliest grades are really about building those foundational skills, that sense of understanding of who they are as children. They have a love of learning, a love of creating, a love of designing, and a love of each other in school. And then by the time they get to 6th and 7th grade, where some of your children are going to start with us, we want them to start to explore the world of opportunities out there in the context of what they're going to be learning at school every day, which is what the team will get into with you later. Because by the time they get to 8th and 9th grade, by 9th grade, our children, if they're ready, they're going to be able to begin taking college classes for college credit as early as 9th grade. And our dream is that our children will finish as much, if not all, of their higher education, at least that first part, with us before they graduate high school. So imagine a young person going through a program with us in 9th grade where they want to be a teacher, and they start in this program in 9th grade, but can get a bachelor's degree by 5 years of school, like another year of high school working with us. And that degree is paid for by us because we use our per pupil dollars to pay for their tuition, rather than just looking at it as paying for our staff. And so your young people coming to One City will be exposed to an amazing array of opportunities that they can get into and have that higher education paid for in large part, and not strap you or them with long-term debt. Move forward. And I'm not going to go all into these 2 slides, but this is just to show you, if you could go back, we missed one, we skipped one. You can go back. One City is built on a science. And this slide says preschool, but we have one for preschool, one for one for regular K through 12. And this looks similar, that our children have to have a school model that they're in that is very precise about what it is that they need and what we have to do to get them there. So this just basically says at the bottom is the foundation. If children come to school and their parents know a lot about how to get them there, or they're working with schools effectively, and we've got people who know at the board level to people like me who are leading these schools, we know what we're doing. And we've got public policy, which charter schools, the state has a public policy allowing us to do this, and we have a lot of community support. We can run great schools, but then you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing. And Devin Davis, who's our head of schools, is a secondary school principal as well. She's been doing this a long time and is an amazing leader. We also have already shown you some of our amazing teachers, but we have more coming down the pipeline. We already have several at One City in our elementary and preschool. You got to have an aligned educational program. That's your standards connected to the curriculum, connected to the professional development of teachers. All of those things have to be synonymous with one another so we can literally deliver on the education we promise to your children. We're going to have a crate facility you're going to see a little later. And then the health and safety of children. Every school has to do that. Depending on where you are, the issues are different. Right now it's been COVID-19, but schools have to address mental health issues of kids. They've got to address safety issues within the school community, sometimes outside of the school community at home. And we're wired to be able to do those things. And then the blue is the icing on the cake. That's where a lot of kids get left behind. And this is where, okay, we got a great school, but we have a lot of kids who come here and they don't have parents that know how to help them navigate these transitions between school levels, between elementary to middle to high school. Those parents who know the great teacher in the school, and they're all talking to each other. And then these kids get left with the new teachers who don't have a lot of skills yet. Our school is designed to ensure that that doesn't happen. And then our extended learning opportunities, our kids are engaged in a lot of different things that Devin and them will tell you about later. But we're exposing our children to things that'll build their cultural capital as well, so that they can engage with anyone. Ice skating is a big thing in Madison. Our kids will learn how to ice skate. They shoot, they snowshoe, they do karate, they do dance, music, all types of things. And it's designed to get them exposure. But then here at the network of families, that's what's unique about us, is our families are really well connected to one another, and you're going to experience that. Move forward. And then it's just nestled into a community of opportunity. So we have spent the last almost 8 years building a network of support around One City Schools, so that that network of support extends around your children as well. And when I didn't show this image to our team until probably 4 years into our school, because then I had shown them that earlier and said, we're going to build this, they probably wouldn't have believed it. But when we all met one day and we started talking about where all the spheres of influence and the levers of change we're pushing on in Madison through One City Schools, when they all listed all these things out and I showed them this, everybody was blown away, because we literally have engaged every aspect of our community here in One City. So you're about to be involved in and if you apply, in an amazing community for young people. And we are going to redefine the way public education is done. And we're going to do it with you and your children. Thank you.
Thanks, Kaleem. I think, what Kaleem ended with there is really important to pick up on, as well as in the mission statement. Our mission really is to seed a new model of public education. Charter schools are really designed to be innovative, to be able to sort of create on a smaller scale. Innovations, projects, programs, curriculum that can then be large scaled to a larger public district, or just a larger district in general. It's really hard when you're a big district to be able to maneuver just because of your sheer size. And so it's, I think sometimes there's a question about competitiveness, and we're very much about partnering with all of the schools in Dane County and in the state and in the country. We've had all sorts of wonderful conversations and partnerships with schools across the country who are engaged in this education innovation world. So I think that, part of what I want to describe to you is really what we've been creating together as a team, and it is based on the experiences of other scholars, other schools, research that we're diving into. And we're really trying to develop a program that allows for our scholars to be able to engage in the process of learning in a way that allows them to succeed beyond our walls. It's not a world that we can really know exactly what it's going to look like. With our sixth graders coming in, a lot has changed in the last 5 years, 10 years. I mean, who would have predicted a pandemic, or what levels of learning we needed to have in order to be able to get through a pandemic? There's just so much out there that we're trying to really anticipate what are the actual skills that our scholars will need to be able to tackle problems that we don't yet know. And that's really what the entire program is designed around. So for sixth grade, we are participating, we're extending our expeditionary learning framework from the elementary school. And that's really based on interdisciplinary expeditions is what we call them. So for example, our sixth graders will have 4 expeditions each year, and those are interdisciplinary units of study that are focused around a central guiding question, and they will tackle the answer to that question through projects, through field experiences, through guest speakers, through exhibitions and reflections and celebrations of learning, and those expeditions will have strands of all of the subjects that we all grew up learning in isolation. So instead of going from science class to art class to PE, all of those are built into these essential questions. So for example, the first expedition for 6th grade focuses on what values stories convey in a culture, and how stories came to be and came to exist, and how they get passed on. And those can be really big questions to tackle, and really fun and engaging question to tackle as you discover the stories of your family, of one city, of your ancestors. You know, we're built on Native American land. You know, what stories are there, and how can we honor those stories and just grow and develop within them? So a typical day for 6th grade, and then I'll get to high school, but a typical day for 6th grade involves you know, those expeditions. It involves breakfast, lunch, and snack, all prepared by our chef here. It involves sports clubs and activities. It involves math, and it involves crew, which is a centering activity really at the beginning of the day, and then a reflection activity at the end of the day, where scholars come together and tackle a learning target together, or really talk about a learning target together, or do an activity around a learning target together that's centered around how you engage with each other and how you're a part of this community, and then reflect and give each other props at the end of the day, or maybe apologies, as it were, you know, depending on sort of how the day went. And on that note, I do also want to just mention that, you know, we are educators and love children, and that's why we're here. And we love the children's families. And our goal is to partner all together and acknowledge that our scholars will make mistakes. Some of them will make the same mistake over and over and over again. And some will, you know, make incremental shifts in their decision-making as we grow. We're all about progress and growth, not about judgments day to day, moment to moment. You know, this is a process of learning together, and we want to keep everybody safe, and we want to help everybody sort of center their decisions or reflect on their decisions later in terms of their impact on the community that we're trying to create together. In 9th and 10th grade, like Kaleem was saying, you know, we're looking at really, for lack of a better word, smushing together the high school, early college, and career and four-year college experiences to the extent we possibly can, and removing as many barriers to moving forward in whatever path each individual scholar desires as much as possible, whether those barriers are financial or academic or systemic. We're looking at how can we create opportunities for each of our scholars to get as far as they want to get in their high school experience, surrounded by high school level support. You know, that's reading specialists, math specialists, early college and career advisors, me, directors of teaching and learning, their teachers. You know, we are encompassing all of our scholars and lifting them to the levels that you know they're striving for. So we will be offering a trimester schedule in high school. We'll be offering multidisciplinary seminars, much like I described for 6th grade, but they might not have all of the subject strands. They will be more selective for the scholars while they're picking their specific credits that they are seeking proficiency in. And Natalie will tell you a little bit more about that and our involvement in the Mastery Transcript Consortium in a moment. We'll also have opportunities for single subject courses. We'll be offering dual credit courses. Many of the teachers that we're hiring will be seeking higher level commission certification to be able to become adjunct professors through UW-Oshkosh. We also have some representatives, our partners from UW-Oshkosh here, who will speak a little bit later about what that partnership looks like. But in essence, that means that some of our teachers can teach courses through UW-Oshkosh, and our scholars can get both high school credit and college credit for those courses. We will have online college credit offerings, again, through UW-Oshkosh. We're also partnering with Madison College for scholars who wish for specific certifications or an associate's degree in a particular career path. And for both middle and high school, we have workshops that will provide breaks in between either the expeditions for middle school or the trimesters for high school. And those workshops are really more immersive, subject-specific experiences that scholars can really sort of deep dive into a subject area. So whether that's coding or robotics, like Jack was mentioning earlier, whether it's life skills and they're going camping in the wilderness for a week, or financial literacy or health or culinary arts or life skills, all of these will be both built into the day-to-day experience and also offered as workshops and once a week opportunities. In terms of the Monday through Friday schedule, one day will be more workshop oriented than seminar course oriented. And leadership is a big strand that will go all the way through our secondary school program. We want to provide opportunities both for our scholars to mentor within our community and also in the greater Madison community. Life and career experiences such as job shadows, apprenticeships, and internships will all be built into our experience as well. We have a lot of great partners already who have reached out saying, as soon as you get high school scholars, we want them. And we're really excited about just so many opportunities out there. You know, we're called One City for a reason, and it's because we want to embrace this community, and we're so thrilled by the community embracing us and supporting us in this venture. And it's really, really exciting what opportunities will be coming for our scholars. So with that, I will pass this over to Natalia. She can describe a couple of the more specific programs that we have.
Yeah, thank you, Devin. And as Devin pointed out, the focus of our program is much more on depth and on the impact of learning than on the process and on the growth than it is on the grades. And because learning is so intimately linked to our emotional processes, what we want to emphasize is collaborating, grappling together through questions, and making connections and creating high quality work that our scholars can show us evidence of their competency. And that's the reason why we became members of the Mastery Transcript Consortium, so that when they graduate, our scholars can have a transcript that provides evidence of their growth and evidence of their hard work to their employers or to their college admissions officers. One transcript that communicates what students know and what they're able to do, right? We're also implementing Leader in Me, which is a framework that will teach leadership skills. And it also provides career exploration, college preparation curriculum, and it also offers a good layer of social and emotional education. Our scholars are going to be role models for the elementary school kids within the same building. And they also can choose to take that one step further with mentoring or with tutoring opportunities. And if they so choose, they can go outside to the community and take advantage of all those internships and service opportunities that we will be providing. And of course, we will keep high expectations for ourselves, for the scholars, and for the families. In any given class, we will have a diverse group of learners, and they will be diverse in a variety of ways, culturally, ethnically, and in how they learn. And so the program that we have designed, the instructional program, is one that will allow every kid to make progress. We are going to motivate them and we are going to engage them. Know that if you send your child to our school, they are going to be in the classroom with kids that will be gifted and talented in some areas and that will also struggle and have difficulty in others, just like everyone. And so because no kid is great at everything and because no kid challenges at everything. This experience reflects the world, and by building from their strengths, what we're going to do is motivate them, and the scholars will become self-driven while at the same time become aware of the areas in which they still have to grow. our job will be to provide growth opportunities for all of them. So the growth that they will have will reflect on their academic skills and also on the life readiness. And because we do have high expectations for everyone, we also have high expectations for the families. So what are we expecting from our families? Well, we sincerely hope that you are just as excited as we are about your kids' education, and that you are ready to cheer for them along the path. We really hope that you help us from your home, offering whatever support they need. And sometimes it will be monitoring the use of electronic devices, which is so hard these days, or making sure that they're getting the necessary sleep to be ready and to go and learn and to be at their best early in the morning. Of course, showing interest in what they do every day at school and communicating with us. And we can certainly say that you and us will be tuning into your kids' rhythm together. And so what can you expect from us? What are we going to be providing? We're going to get to know your kid, and we're going to love your kid in on their best and on their worst days, because they will have both, right? We are going to guide them, and we're going to encourage them and provide the support through the good days and through the bad days. We will, in other words, walk the path of educating your child right beside you, in continuous partnership and communication, of course. And then this solid support and partnerships that we are offering your kid will cultivate their talents, and they will also prepare them for whatever path they choose for themselves, either through college or career. But also, most importantly, it will prepare them for life, because the opportunities that we provide them are going to reflect, as Devin mentioned before, they're going to reflect the world that they have out there. And so the partnership will be important, and reflecting that world will be important.
I'd love to walk you through our facilities, and it's really important to mention the incredible generosity of Pleasant Rowland, who really made our permanent home possible. So we moved into our Pleasant T. Rowland Leadership Campus this past August, and we've been living in temporary classrooms on the third floor. We will have permanent classrooms available on 3 of our 4 levels starting in August, and then that's 3 of 4 because they can't fix the one we're on until we're out of it. So first we have to move onto the other floors, and then they'll come into this one too. So just to give you some of the ideas, we have 3 full comprehensive science labs designed for students to create, again, to innovate, to do lab work and projects in. We have a full dining facility complete with a stage. We anticipate some improv happening on that stage, and hope that some of you will come in and enjoy the show. We have designed the facility with a lot of collaboration spaces, and I'll show you the blueprints so you can see some that they're specifically colored on the blueprints momentarily, but this is just a photo basically of one that will be in the lower school area in the elementary, outside the elementary classrooms. And so just to sort of quickly go through this, I just want to highlight a couple of the areas. The bottom left there with the yellow is our indoor play space, knowing that scholars need some room to run sometimes, even in inclement weather. Not that that ever happens in Wisconsin, but on the occasion that it might, we will have a space for that. The bottom large orange block is our future tech space. So video recording studio, robotics, computer hardware and software that will allow for extensive design work. And then top right of the screen is our music wing. So that's the very lowest level of the building. This is the main level when you walk in. So top right, you come into the lobby. There will be a student-run coffee shop right there as you enter. And we will have a DJ booth also led by students, so that that music that you heard about in that opening video will be popping when people walk in. We have Summit Credit Union is sponsoring a student-run credit union right in that space. We'll also have a school store and a culinary classroom. For example, one of our anticipated multidisciplinary seminars will be around culture and cuisine. We have a great head chef who really, in February for Black History Month, was doing just an exceptional job of providing the history and context of the dishes he was making. And we are really excited about expanding that to a scholar opportunity also. The second floor and third floor are the primary floors for secondary school. So you can see the bottom with the white blocks are the 3 science labs that I was mentioning. Many of our classrooms are flexible learning spaces so that we can shift furniture out of the way, we can get on the floor, we can do whatever we need to do, and it's not a specific subject designed classroom. It's more of a, what do we need to do in here, when? All the green are student collaboration spaces. And I think those are the main highlights for that floor. The top level, the large orange block, is a student center. Right next to that are 2 art classrooms. In front of that is the art storage, more flexible learning spaces, and also a teaching education lab in the top right, along with the tutoring lab that have one-way glass so that our future educators can watch and observe teaching in action and help hone their own craft. The 2 orange right in the center are career academy spaces, also designed for scholars who will be taking some of the online coursework, who can come in there and get that work done with the support of our staff. Jeremy, you want to say a couple things about the athletic opportunities coming?
I am happy to. Thanks, Devin. I'll try to keep it quick as well, but it's hard to, because we're pretty excited about what's coming down the line here for One City. The One City Athletics Center is going to be a state-of-the-art opportunity for our community members to really continue to hone in on the success and the relationships that we have through our love of athletics and movement and play. We're really excited. This facility will be built. We're hoping to be able to put shovels in the ground in the year 2024. As we work into stage 2 of our capital campaign. It will be in the location where the current parking ramp is, right next to our campus. So as you see in this picture right here, we will still have parking there as well, but we are excited to be building one of the cutting edge of technology and one of the best facilities in the Madison area. Next slide, please, Devin. As she goes through some of these slides, it gives you a good feel for what the facility will look like. And we'll get into more of the specifics as well. Just for general information about athletics and where we are right now, we're currently in the application process with the WIAA to continue to, or to create high school athletic opportunities for our students. So we're excited about that opportunity as well. One of the biggest things right now is creating mission-focused goals that we can create opportunities for our scholar athletes to be able to have meaningful experiences, to be able to work with one another, develop the teamwork, the skills, but find success in the athletic realm as well. Next slide, please. As you can see here, we're really looking forward to making it a community space, not just for One City, but for our greater community within the Madison and Dane County area. We believe this will be a hub to be able to bring in our community to not only highlight our school, but to highlight the achievements of our scholar athletes and what we're really doing here. We look forward to hosting many events that helps bring our community together through the very awesome spaces that we have, not just outside, but inside as well. Next slide, please. As you can see here, in just kind of a brief overview, there are 2 indoor gymnasiums for basketball, volleyball, and other auxiliary activities that we choose to host. There's some office space and locker rooms, but one really neat feature is our indoor soccer field. There's not a lot like this around this area. And we look forward to having the premier indoor soccer facility within Dane County, not just for our student athletes of kindergartners all the way up through our seniors, but we also look forward to hosting big events for our local clubs and semi-pro opportunities to be able to come into and use our space. Also within here, there's our cardio space and our fitness center as well with our weight training. And we also have multi-use spaces as well. Knowing that this will be a hub for our community to be able to use, we look forward to hanging many banners in this gymnasium and bringing many fun memories for our community members in this space. Next slide, please. Here's one rendering of what it might look like when you come into our space. Imagine that. Walking in the glass, seeing all the opportunities that are going on. And know what's better than this picture is when you see your kids that are running around and they're using that space. That's what's going to be fantastic. So we look forward to having those memories together. Next slide, please. That's it for me.
Thanks, Jeremy. And this is just a slide showing some of the partners who we have had really great conversations with to date in plans for developing opportunities for our scholars, whether it's coursework or internships or apprenticeships or field experiences. It ranges across the board, and we anticipate many more. We do have representatives from UW Oshkosh here with us today. We also have some videos from other partners that we will post on our website for your viewing pleasure in the future. But at the moment, I'd love to pass this over to John and Mike.
Sure, thank you, Devin. My name is John Dobbins. I'm the Director of Outreach and Operations for the 47-year-old UW Oshkosh CAP program. CAP's main mission is to increase access and opportunity for high school students to access higher ed courses and credits before they leave high school, thus decreasing time and cost to college degree. Last year, the CAP program alone at UW Oshkosh saved Wisconsin families around $10 million on higher ed costs. The partnership that we're developing with One City Preparatory Academy is unlike anything that we've done in our 47 years, because we're starting on the ground up with the school as they too go from the ground up. So we're incredibly excited to work with the new staff that they're bringing on to get folks Higher Learning Commission credentials, and to work with those folks that already have master's degrees or higher in their subject areas, so they can offer our courses with our transcripts to students at One City. Concurrent enrollment is not just about students taking classes and coming to UW Oshkosh. You know, we'd love that. But it's also about them going wherever they'd like to realize their higher ed dreams with that reduced cost, with that reduced time to degree. Our credits transfer incredibly well. We have a full staff here ready to serve the students at One City, like we do the other 130 high schools around the state of Wisconsin that we partner with. And we couldn't be more pleased with how this build is going, and look forward to the first students raising their hand for CAP credits, UW Oshkosh credits at One City School. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can you see me okay? I'm not sure whether I can be seen or not. Can I be heard?
You can be heard.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for inviting us. We really do appreciate it. And my name is Mike Bartlett, and I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Online and Continuing Education at UW Oshkosh. And this really has warmed my heart, because I started my career actually in secondary schools and actually in the South Pacific Islands, where I got a great passion for accessibility for students who sometimes didn't have the opportunity to get into school and then to move up into higher education. So I was very, very excited to see this presentation. So I've now been with the UW system now for 20 years, and was previously a dean of the UW College's online campus, where we actually started a pilot program and developed a model that we could offer college credits to high school students, fully online, where we could join up different school districts or just one school or whatever it would be, to enable those students to access college credits in a fully online asynchronous model. And the advantage of that for some schools we found was that it helped free up some of the other time in their schedule, particularly for athletes and others who are taking on maybe band or music or things like that. And it allowed them to do asynchronous online courses at college level, where we actually provide the the instructor as well. Or we could train an instructor from the school to be able to teach that online in an asynchronous mode. So I'm very excited about this, being able to partner with One City Schools to be able to provide this access to your school and to your scholars, and to really work with this partnership. I'm very excited to hear what you guys are doing and appreciate the opportunity to be one of your partners. So thanks again.
Thank you, Mike and John. Marilyn, back to you.
Oh my goodness. Well, after all is said and done, that was a lot of information in an hour. I'm not going to hold you up, but how in the world can you enroll at One City Schools? Well, starting Monday, April the 4th, you will have an opportunity to enroll online. Keep in mind, it's on our website, www.onecityschools.org. And if I could share my screen on there, I will show what it would look like. Yes, great. On here, I just will show you what it will look like. Oh, as soon as I get it right here. You'll come on to our website and then you will click on new families. And then right here, this application, it's a short application. It's basically your student name, phone number, contact information, birth date, what grade you'll be enrolling in, the year, and then the parents, household information, contact information, and that's it. That's it. That is the start. That is the start of what we're going to be looking at right now. And after that is said and done, we don't ask about race. We don't ask about ethnicity. All we're going to ask for is that you live in the state of Wisconsin. We are a charter school authorized by the UW system that we can accept any student throughout the state of Wisconsin, which means we do not provide transportation, because we can't provide transportation in Madison if someone in Toma, Wisconsin wants to come to One City. So you, as parents, or as they get older and they're driving, they're the ones that will provide transportation at One City Schools. So we do not, that could be a hindrance, but we want to be able to say that all that you're getting here at One City Schools, the transportation is what we're asking for our families to provide. We are a year-round school. We go through July 31st. So we're a longer school day and a longer school year. Typically start about 8 to 4:30. Middle and high school could start just a little bit later so that we don't have traffic in with our elementary students. And a longer school year, meaning that we get out in July 30th. July 30th is the last day. And everyone has the month of August off. And then we go right back around on September 1. For this upcoming school year, of course, you're hearing it right now, we are going to be enrolling 6th, 9th, and 10th grade. So we're starting off a little bit slow on there. And then the following school year, we'll add 7th grade and 11th grade. And then in 2024, 2025, we will be a full K through 12, because then we'll add 8th grade and we'll add 12th grade. And our first graduation class will come July 2025. So we're not playing up in here. So this is exciting times for us, because we are definitely expanding. I'm going through enrollment now for the elementary for K through 5. And that's the reason why in April 4th through April 22nd, you'll be able to apply online at www.onecityschools.org. I know there was a couple of questions that were submitted. Yes, we have a special education program. So we do handle IEPs and 504. So we do that right here. We are a school. And so, yes, we are by law, we will handle that. What other questions did I see? 6th grade, 24 students. All our classes really, 24 max students. So for 6th grade, is that right?
Per class, not per grade. I just want to
I'm sorry. Okay, let me take that back. So yes. Per grade. So for 6th grade, we'll have three sections of 24 students each, 3 sections. And then in 9th and 10th grade, we'll have 4 sections, a maximum of 24 students each. As far as touring one city, I know everyone's like, I want to see what's it like inside. I know, I got you. I hear you. Right now, we are under construction. Of course, we are renovating. The whole point is to be able to get everything done by August, I believe mid-August, so that we can have family tours, be able to come in. Our staff here will be able to see, and it'll be definitely worth the wait because we are in temporary classrooms as we speak. What am I missing before I let you all go? Any other hot topics, hot information? If you want to unmute yourself, please do. Does the Madison School District handle the IEP services, or can outside services be utilized? I think outside services.
Outside services can be utilized. Yeah, many charters are part of district schools. We're not, because we're independently authorized. So we are not part of the Madison School District. We are our own district. So we have our own special education.
Keep that in mind. Again, we are not part of any district. We are independent charter school. So you don't have to worry about that. The music programs, oh my goodness, we have academies right now, and our academies consist of music, martial arts, art, singing, choir. I mean, it just goes list on and on, because we want our scholars to be able to experience all that Madison has to offer. So yes, we do incorporate that. You are so welcome. Yes, sir.
And elementary school enrollment is open right now. So
yes,
we are in the midst of the elementary enrollment. So get on that if you have an elementary scholar here right now. And we do have the recorded open house presentation on our website for that, if you'd like to go back and review any of that information.
The enrollment decisions made for the 6th, 9th, and 10th grade, exactly. So it's a 3-week open enrollment period, 3 weeks. So once those 3 weeks go, then we can determine if there needs to be a lottery, because as I was mentioned, there's a maximum of 24 students each grade level. So that'll be a beautiful thing to be able to say that we got 96 students in 9th grade and 10th grade, and all you all are just coming because all roads lead to one city. All roads lead to one city. So you just might as well just bring your kids over right now, because you're not going to find another place like this. You're just not going to find another place like this in one city. So you might as well just come on, jump on board here. And everything that's following around, you can just go. Our breaks, we tend to follow, the only time we tend to follow MMSD is our breaks. So our winter break, our spring break, our intercessory break, about the same, in the same timeline, because we got families from all over. This particular school year, we have families from 22 different zip codes, 22 different zip codes who are coming here. The furthest we have right now is someone from Janesville. They work here in Madison, they bring their child here, then pick up their child and go into Janesville. But as I'm going through enrollment right now, I found a Fond du Lac. Which means the family probably is right here in working in Madison, but they want their child to experience something different than in Fond du Lac. So they can enroll here, because we'll take anyone, and you got to provide proof of residency that you live here in Wisconsin. I don't care if it's Tomah or South Beloit, we have to show proof of residency. We will not have more applicants. We are limited by the numbers that we have right now. So even last school year, when you think of our 4K program, 4K starts our charter school. We had more than enough to have more classes than what we had allocated. But you got to remember, we got to move up. We got to have room. We have to have room, keep the room the sizes that we have right now. So a maximum of 24 students, no matter if we get 200 applicants, it just I have to stop that. From there. And if you haven't had an opportunity, please send your questions in that Google form. I'll send it again, just in case anybody needs to have it that didn't get their question answered. Let me make sure there's everybody on here, and we will let you all go. As always, for me, it's 7:15. I like to end it off with music, and that's what we as One City is. So thank you. If this has been helpful for you, let us know in the chat. Please, if this has been helpful for you, please let us know in the chat. All right. So I just want to thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Any last parting words on that? Thank you. So let me go right here.
Thank you.
You are so welcome here because you know what? There is no stopping us now coming to One City because all roads lead to One City. So you might as well get yourself ready. Open enrollment will start on April the 4th for 3 weeks. There is no stopping us now. We are on the road. We are on it now. So you heard it from Mr. Kalim. You heard from our staff. You heard from our new ones. Everyone's excited. There's no stopping. Join us. April 4th is when we started, okay? Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We are on the move, you all. We are on the move. We'll also have our second open house on the 16th if you didn't get a chance to hear this one, okay? Thank you, everyone. But now it looks like all right, just go right there. All right, family. All right, staff, how we do here?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Great work, everyone.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.